Hello and welcome to final round coverage from the 2017 United States Disc Golf Championship here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We've got Big Sexy on the card again and Big Sexy in the booth. Myself, Nate Sexton, and Jeremy Koling.
Yeah, this has been awesome commentating and playing these rounds. And look at these conditions. The first three rounds, we were spoiled.
Yeah.
We had perfect conditions through three. Fourth round, not so much. I was very surprised at the size of the gallery.
Yeah, people were out in force, but yeah, weather has changed for sure. Here's the normal Winthrop conditions when the drone flies.
And it's been the first rainy day that we've had down here in the south in weeks.
Yeah.
I kept fearing that this day would come, but Hurricane Nathan has finally, or is it just Hurricane Nate? It's actually just called Hurricane Nate. This is a real thing.
Technically, this rain is not part of Nate, but Nate is making landfall.
I mean, just start the puns here. Like, that's just, what are the odds that there's going to be a hurricane called Hurricane Nate coming down when you are leading this tournament through three rounds?
And what are the odds that the last day of almost every tournament can be rainy when the other days aren't?
3 years in a row now.
Yeah, in like the Vibram and the Nick Hyde. And
yeah, there's something going on. Crazy.
I'm going Firebird here, and I'm super happy with that. Feeling a little bit of nerves and a little bit of pressure. Final day in the lead. It was really good to get a good shot off, even with the wet conditions.
And that's only your third closest drive.
Yeah.
2 bullseye hits.
Yep.
One a little bit left, short, and right yesterday.
Yep.
And but that's a tap-in birdie to start things off.
Here goes Ricky, just a little inside, skipping down the hill, but still in the circle.
Yeah, he was displeased with that shot, and really you don't want to leave yourself a tester putt on this. This is obviously a very scary green, and when you leave yourself off to the left, you have the death putt, and when you leave yourself off to the right, the potential of roll away if you miss the putt. There's a lot of different things that can happen.
Philo yanked this one and then got one of the worst kicks I've seen in a while. Like that, there's no way that thing should shoot straight up in the air over the entire gallery out of bounds.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Schwabe doing the job.
Yeah, this is, mark of a true caddy right there. He was there, he had my back the whole week.
This is the mortar, swinging wide, taking a nice little skip, and that's kind of your spot on this hole.
Yeah, 3 of the 4 rounds right there on the edge of the circle. I'd certainly like to be closer, but that was kind of the game plan, throw the disc with a little bit less skip and make a putt.
Philo just laying up from there, pretty nicely done. And now we've got Germ to get things started, and get it started you do. What a great putt there in the rain into the elevated basket.
Yeah, there's really no room for any mistakes today. Down 7, 18 holes to go. Need to start off strong.
Ricky for birdie.
And that's got to sit down. And, God, he is not. That bush is just, there's no daylight in there.
And he rolled in there a little bit. Like, not fortunate. Did not stop on the edge.
Right. And off left. And he was 3 back to start the round. He's going to find himself 5 back if you convert on your easy birdie putt.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe it. As much as obviously you're not rooting against anybody out there. We're all friends. We're all trying to play. But, that I did feel myself let out a little breath there and go, okay, wow. Like I got my lead back up to where I feel like it should have been because I messed up hole 17 the previous day.
Right. And, just like that, wow. And Ricky almost gets that. Ricky spit out that he sometimes gets with being a little bit too high.
Yeah.
5 strokes right there off the bat.
Hole 2 is a 629-foot par 4 going slightly uphill. We've got an OB fence on the right, an OB hazard area on the right, and an out-of-bounds parking lot on the left.
Something to take into consideration with the rain is that the roller option has just changed. I mean, you don't know exactly how the disc is going to roost your tail, or if it's going to slow down, or if it's going to skid out, or there's a lot of different things that can happen. So I'm not sure if did you go sidearm all 4 rounds?
I did.
Okay, so I know the roller play has been an option for you in the past, but this year the safer play is just the forehand, and you're getting your champion orc way out there, low ceiling, avoid all the limbs, and for the first time in this year's event, I'm actually going to try a sidearm as well.
Yeah, I cannot blame you for going away from the roller. Rain is kind of the bane of rollers. It's always tough when you have a roller-heavy game plan, and then the rain starts coming down, and you know, okay, I'm going to have to make some decisions on the fly here to figure out how to get up to the landing zones I'm looking for.
And Ricky is rushing his shot here, but it is raining pretty hard, and your disc's dry. You don't want, a raindrop to land on your thumb or something like that right before you throw. Felt like he was a little bit quicker than he needed to be. That's
kind of a hallmark of his sometimes in the rain, though. He's got that raincoat Ricky thing going, and he will kind of run up and throw some shots every once in a while. And at the Vibram, I don't know, it worked for him. But, but hard to say. He kind of shanked that one, but it didn't hit any trees, so it's really in a pretty good spot. This shot is nothing short of fantastic from way back there. Going with your Wraith?
Yeah, I went with the Wraith here. Schwebby and I decided I was about 360 feet away, and I had the Firebird in hand and decided to club up to the Wraith there just to make sure I didn't come up short. And I'm feeling some adrenaline at this point.
Yeah, man. I had a Firebird in my hand, but it slipped right out of my hand as I tried to throw it, and it's way short.
Nothing wrong with that, though.
At least it's in bounds.
It's in bounds, and you're safe, and you're at a distance where you can easily lay up for your birdie. I mean, for your par.
That was not a good feeling at that moment. I had that disc slip out, and just hoping that I can get some good grip going forward in the round.
Sure. At this point, we don't really know if the rain is going to go away or if it's going to get any worse, and it doesn't look like it's going to get much better anytime soon.
Just a layup for me from there with the Pillars of Justice. You're not going to make that shot.
No, that's the only thing you can do right there, especially when you're playing with a 5-stroke lead. You have to make sure that you're not giving away any easy mistakes or any easy strokes.
Wow, Philo had a little better line at it and put a great run on the basket.
Come on.
Ricky, unbelievable that he went between those and still almost connected.
Nice.
And that is the dream start in the rain, 2 down through 2.
Knocks down the birdie. You're asking if you just pick up. Yeah, you just pick those up.
I remember you called out, are we good here? Because you were trying to tap out before Ricky, and I thought that you were saying, like, are we good? Can we just pick these up? Move on to the next hole.
The perks of the lead card.
Yeah. I mean, all inside the bullseye, just pick them up.
Pick them up. UC said we could. Hole 3, 389 feet downhill, hazard everywhere. This is a par 3 that is pretty treacherous. If you go left, you have to play from that hazard area, and there's new hazard in the woods on the right. So if your forehand gets away from you or you throw a turnover that's going a little deep, you can find hazard over there as well.
I don't know how you feel about this hole, but for me, when I think about Winthrop, this is one of the holes I immediately think about.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of my favorite holes on the course. I love throwing downhill like this, and it's just a really beautifully... the shot is just
super fair but super tough.
Right. I was trying to say it's framed really well.
Oh yeah, I think you're right about that. And look at that, right around the stake and inbounds.
Very fortunate there to avoid the stake and just barely scoot over the grass there. You never really know how it's going to skip. Sometimes you're going to get big skips, and sometimes you get a lot less.
Look at all those umbrellas down there. I'm going Firebird.
And this needs to sit, and there is Velcro on the green. It's coming in a little bit hot. Yep. I wasn't sure if it was going to take a big jump, but ends up sitting nicely.
Ricky has this up a little bit high. See if it can catch the green.
And this really needs to sit, and he has not sat. He is in the hazard area. That's going to be play from that lie with a 1-stroke penalty.
it's not going to be an easy putt from there, I wouldn't think.
No. And Philo has just yanked this out of his hand. Maybe some grip issues going on there. Philo's pretty true with his backhand mid-range game.
Yeah, he is.
Definitely one of the parts of his game that is maybe better than almost anyone else in the sport, actually.
Yep.
I'll take Philo with a DX Rock over anyone else.
Mm-hmm. Philo just lays it up. Ricky is a little low and going to take bogey, and Germ, unfortunate air ball there. Here I am for birdie, and another 2 strokes on Ricky, which is really a dream start for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I was very surprised to be able to find myself in that position.
Mm-hmm. And this is for par, and that's a momentum killer.
Yeah, after 2 straight birdies and then a nice drive, it's a tough couple of putts.
Yeah, that was it wasn't really grip issue related. It just missed the putt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just missed the putt. A little bit nervy at this point in the round, but I mean, who wouldn't be a little bit nervous going into last round lead card? It's just
No one who is human.
You're right. And Philo takes the par, is actually going to jump up to the second spot on the tee box with that par, with 2 bogeys there between Ricky and I.
Hole 4 is a 448-foot par 4. We have to go around a mandatory, playing basically a U-turn shape. The mandatory tree there on the right, you have to make it around to the left of that, and then find your way into this super well protected green that is actually pretty slopey, so you have to be careful with your angles as you're coming in.
Yeah, we're going to see how the rain affects our game plans here. Whether really need to get a good skip on this hole. It's always really important. It's almost impossible to air it exactly where you'd like with the sidearm, and just catches the high ceiling there. You actually might have been able to air the landing zone had
If it
you
got
avoided
lucky somehow.
Yeah, if it had avoided all that, you might have been able to. But with this low ceiling, it's so hard to rely on anything besides getting that really big skip to where you'd like to be.
Yeah.
That was a pretty safe shot there from Philo. Probably would like to have thrown it a little bit higher in the air.
Just a touch higher, give them a better chance.
And that needs to skip and
Wow.
run, and it just
Good
gobbled
water.
it. Yeah, gobbled it up.
Water just grabbed it.
I thought out of my hand that would have been enough to get to that spot.
I
but
did too. And Ricky going roller, and this is not well thrown. He hit the ceiling right away, and that's 4 at absolute best case.
Yeah, and you talk about raincoat Ricky with the speed. I really felt after 3 holes, I was like, man, he is going way too fast here, and he's gone too long on the layup shot. It's going to be a difficult approach from inside that tree area.
Yeah. I've got nothing but a layup here. I was really kind of hoping this would skip a little more, but that's not terrible.
Yeah, you're going to be in just fine position to be able to throw your little dart or something.
Mm-hmm. And Philo will be okay from there, I would think. Doing the same thing as me. You've got to play here.
Yeah, I have to go with a really high-speed driver to get the skip,
Oh, man.
and just about a foot off, I think, from throwing a really good shot there. I was probably about 40 feet short of where I'd like to be for the good angle.
Yeah.
And just didn't throw a good shot there and hit the tree, and I'll be left with a par at best.
That was a fantastic shot from Rick, going down to a knee, throwing the flex, and making the green.
I was showing off a little sidearm touch there, right inside the bullseye.
I was actually afraid to throw the forehand here because I was worried about a rollaway.
Yeah, you got to roll away in round 3, and so different shot there, and just as effective, if not more. There's like a slight glimmer of hope in my mind. I'm thinking, I've really got to give this a shot. If I want to have any realistic chance of making an epic comeback, I've got to make that. But, you know, that's just kind of living in fantasy land.
It was a good bid. Ricky in for par.
A good par after
Really is.
after 2 really kind of poor shots.
Yeah.
The last 2 were good, and actually just one really fantastic shot to get him into a pretty easy birdie par putt range.
Yeah, definitely.
This is kind of like a dreamland round. Look at this. The haze. This
Yeah.
is like the B-roll shot of something in a movie where someone's dreaming.
Hole 5. Back in the A position, 1,083 foot par 5. I find this position to be a little bit more difficult personally, even though it's listed shorter. It's the position you can see there, flag blowing in the wind, out on the point. It's our tough hole, man. You're gonna see some people. You're gonna see us go try to bite off as much as we can off the tee, then stay straight up the middle. Ideally, you want to cross on your third shot, but in these conditions,
Yeah.
it's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, no shame in playing this hole for a par in any conditions besides perfect. I mean, it's a great par in perfect conditions.
Yep.
And it's an outstanding birdie.
Yep.
In great conditions. When the tee's slick and the disc is a little bit wet and the fairways are a little bit faster or slower depending on what angle you hit on.
Yeah. Oh, Philo. Tree slowed him down there, just a little too low out of his hand. I didn't get enough anhyzer on my forehand, so I'm shorter than I've been all week. And that Thunderbird, man, I'm really impressed with that shot.
I think that it really helps to play this hole the way that I like to, which is throwing a little bit safer second shot, not having to throw so hard. And if you can trust something to go straight and not fade too hard to the left, as you see Ricky ripping through this. And Ricky is throwing with hyzer straight out of his hand, and I don't have the guts to do that. That takes a lot of skill to be able to trust that hyzer that wide.
Yeah. He ripped his shot.
There's a really good position there.
Philo a little out of position after that tree hit. Needs this to just settle. Don't go out of bounds.
Yeah, he's
Look at the
drifting.
gallery.
And he is going to be safe. The gallery's creeping up in the fairway. I feel like they maybe should be on the road
Yeah, they ought
to
to get back.
avoid any sort of crazy things happening, but they don't have to worry about this shot because that's right down the middle.
Yeah, that's a Star X-Cal just playing for position, trying to move up the fairway.
I like that shot. I'm going to try to throw something similar to that one.
Putting a little flex on it.
And
There is one tree that could possibly be
there's
hit.
one.
Yeah,
Just one.
just a little bit of a grip lock.
Yep.
And Ricky with a huge hyzer here. This is tracking for the perfect spot. If it can just stay out of the water, and it easily does that.
Can't get any better after two shots. He's not too far where he's going to be unable. So I'm going to go with my favorite destroyer here and try to throw a flex.
Oh man, that is, how far is that? 460 feet?
Yeah, get
Over the
flippy.
water.
Get flippy.
Roll.
Roll.
Disappointing for sure, but championship Saturday, that's a shot you probably had to step up and go for.
Yeah, there's no laying up. I mean, you have to play smart. You have to play for position. You also have to understand when the tournament win is kind of out of reach, and at this point, it could be out of reach. And this is not what I wanted either. And I am fortunate to get through that stuff on the right side there. And I'm going to be looking at the potential, if I don't make my 100-foot putt there, that's going to be my first double bogey of the event.
Wow. I, on the other hand, did lay up, but my situation is a little bit different from yours at this moment in the tournament where I did not need to be risking going over the water. I decided to just play my disc just ahead of Ricky's, watch him throw, and then make my shot.
And Philo throws a fantastic recovery shot there. He's going to be putting for his par after the errant tee shot.
Ricky in the circle in 3, really well thrown. I'm going Firebird here, trying to just trust it, hang it out wide. And for a second, I thought maybe I birdied this thing with the throwing.
Yeah, we were calling for it to get in, and man, that just barely dropped behind the basket. A great shot to play it safe like that, and then to put yourself about 28 feet away, or less than that, probably about 25.
Yeah.
And there was, again, a little glimmer of hope for something crazy, but it wasn't to be. And here's Philo's par putt.
Oh, just off right. Not happy with that. It would have been a really incredible recovery.
Yeah.
Ricky for birdie, no doubt.
And that's a huge putt. Ricky had a slow start today with 2 bogeys on 1 and 3.
Yep.
And with the recovery par save on 4 and then the birdie on 5, it's a great turnaround for him. And a nice par save there. To play it safe like that, you're really showing that you're in control of your own destiny at this point. You know, I mean, if you can continuously play safe like that, you're going to put a lot of pressure on the field to do something outstanding.
That's my goal.
And there it is. 7 for me, 6 for Philo, 5 for Nate, and a 4 for Ricky.
The whole rainbow. Hole 6 is a 371-foot par 3 with out of bounds on the left in the water and an out of bounds area dead straight ahead of the pin, also out of bounds deep. This is one of the scariest holes on the course for me. Just wanting to get your shot perfectly straight and have it fade at the right time to find that sand.
Yeah, it was scary for you. And thank God you're not a lefty. Like, this is like such a hard hole because there's only one option, really.
Yeah.
You can't. No lefty can throw a flick over these trees like the way Ricky just throws a hyzer there.
Yeah.
And but yeah, this is a great shot from Ricky. Just spikes inside the circle.
Awesome shot.
Such a technical shot to be able to throw left of that tree, right and high of the other tree behind it.
I was feeling big pressure here to commit to this shot. I kind of wanted Ricky. If Ricky hadn't thrown it that well, I was going to go wide hyzer and lay up for 3. But I was able to execute, and I really felt proud of myself for throwing that shot as hard as I needed to and not just giving away some easy strokes.
Yeah, you can certainly bleed strokes here on this one. You have a very scary putt from the drop zone if you do go out of bounds. And Philo's calling for it to scoot left, and it's scooting in a huge second or third skip.
Yeah, great skips. Probably a destroyer.
Yeah, definitely going with a star destroyer there for him, and this is a Champ Thunderbird for me.
I also went Champ Thunderbird.
Yeah, I saw your line. I was like, let me just throw something that's not at all like Nate's line.
Oh, that's quite. I mean, it's not at all like my line.
Yeah, but the height wasn't there, but happened to get just enough scoot, so I'll be just outside the circle for my birdie putt.
Nice little death putt in the rain. 37-footer up and in. Fantastic. Spin it back.
Yeah. Made 3 putts outside the circle on this hole. 2 of them were from around drop zone, so felt pretty good about putting on this hole, which is strange because it's a very scary putting green, and Ricky with a nice birdie putt there.
Yeah.
And the scary thing about this green this year is that I don't know if it was the same rules last year, but anything that goes out of bounds, even if you're inbounds off the tee, if you putt and it rolls OB, you are limited to rethrow or drop zone.
Yeah.
So you can't be really that aggressive unless you're certain that you're going to draw metal.
Yeah. This is probably one of the best years I've ever had on this hole. I have three drives in the sand and 1 drive that got a bad luck break on the stakes and stayed out of bounds.
Yeah.
But that one may well have made it to the sand without that stake. So
yeah,
I was throwing this hole great. In practice, I was throwing it horrible. I lost 3 discs on this hole.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's awesome to turn that around for the tournament.
Great star frame. Hole 7, 284 feet, par 3. Got to go through the triple Mando. If you miss it, you've got to go to the drop spots where it's nearly impossible to save your par. So you just have to throw a nice, hard, low shot and sneak right through this gate.
Yeah, we're going to see probably a couple forehand plays here. Hyzer forehand, probably fairway drivers from you and Ricky. And Ricky's throwing the high, getting through the gap perfect. That shot is so much harder for me than you and Ricky make it look.
I just aim at the very left side of the structure and try to throw hard, hyzer, low.
And look at this straight anti-skip just outside the bullseye. Is that in the bullseye?
I think it might have been.
Yeah.
We'll get to know here on the follow flight. Sneak, sneak, sneak.
Oh, yeah.
Bullseye.
Bullseye. What a shot. And Philo's going with the DX rock that he's so well known for throwing. He just really commits to this shot, pulls right through, and doesn't quite get the slide he may have deserved a bit there, but he's still 25, 26 feet away for his birdie.
Yeah. And Germ going MD2, forehand mid-range. Just turned on you a bit.
It just drifted off a little bit to the side. Fortunately, didn't really kick that far off the bamboo fence, so I have a very awkward angle. And I'm trying to give that a bit of a bid there.
That was a nice looking bid.
Well, I was definitely trying to make it, but
Yeah.
it didn't really have the opportunity to maybe.
Ricky for birdie. Oh,
Yep.
man. Ricky is a little high there on his birdie look.
And Philo's in on his birdie. Nice bounce back after Philo's bogey on 5 with back-to-back birdies on 6 and 7. And just moving right along there, Nate.
Birdies, that's the name of the game.
I mean, you just lost one to Rick on 5, got right back on 7. Your lead's at 7 on this card through 7 holes. What's going through your head?
Man, I don't even know. Hole 8, 697-foot par 4. You got to play a straight shot off the tee to set yourself up with a look to get here, and then play ideally a forehand or maybe a backhand roller. Those are really the only ways to access the green because you have to finish so hard right.
Yeah, there's really no other. You can't air a backhand Anheuser anywhere inside the green. But I suppose that with that fence being there, you could throw a backhand Anheuser towards the fence and play a long uphill putt. And you had tried to throw left of the second tree here in previous rounds and hadn't been able to do so. And there you really committed to that shot. That's in the prime time landing zone for that forehand.
Yeah, I got the thing flat finally and got a little more distance on it.
Philo has turned his driver over, and
Not a lot of options from there.
good distance, not the best angle. Philo's not necessarily known for being a forehand player, but we'll see if he throws the forehand or the traditional backhand for him.
Yeah, Ricky going big. Huge forehand, up past mine by 20 feet.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Ricky's forehand is just outstanding with his distance.
Yeah, it is.
And
Ooh, misses the tree, but was it even a good miss?
it needs a skip.
It can't. They leave that cabbage there on purpose to make sure that that shot will never escape.
Yeah. So it's going to be OB on the short side of the OB area here, and I need a really good recovery shot to have a potential save at par.
It looks like you got it. That is pretty much perfect.
I was pretty happy about that one. And Philo is indeed playing the backhand Anheuser shot that needs to hit the fence and just...
Cool little skip action along the fence.
Yeah.
That's a low fence. He's fortunate to get that down low enough to be blocked.
And he'll have a pretty clean open look from there, actually.
I'm going Firebird again, looking for a big skip here, and I just didn't really get it.
No, it really was surprising how this just stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on a good angle, but that's just the nature of playing skip shots onto mulch.
And Ricky is a little early here, coming in on the short side, big hop, and I knew it must have got a big roll too. When we got around the corner, I was surprised to see his disc that close, but fantastic shot. Philo with a bit at it.
Just outside
A
the
little
circle.
outside, yeah, trying to get this putt up and in. And I was disappointed to miss it, but very happy to see it not rolling back towards me. That's not your best effort.
And Ricky with a nice birdie there. That was one of the first putts I feel like I've seen you miss from that range this week. Like, it's one of the things that I've noticed about your putting this week. It's just been so clean and consistent.
Yeah, I'm getting a good pop on the disc. Feeling pretty confident, just kind of picking my link right there in the middle and just trying to putt right through it.
And Philo with an okay par there. You know, it's not really a hole that, I mean, with going backhand, I would be surprised with any other result, really.
Yeah, it's not a Philo hole at all.
Yeah, it really, he needs to be a lot closer to that landing zone where off to the left to be able to hit the forehand that he'd like to throw, maybe.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
Hole 9, 499-foot par 4 eagle opportunity. Perhaps for Ricky. I don't know if he's gonna go for this or not. It's sort of situational, but most players, I'm sure he's been playing safe like I have, going with a forehand off the tee, cutting the hole in half. I think you're doing the same play. But this is definitely one that can be reached. I believe Paul Macbeth eagled this about 45 seconds before Ricky threw this shot.
Yeah, he did. And I'm going to give a quick shout out to Anthony Barella, who eagled it 3 times.
Wow.
So the hole was, it sets up for certain styles of game. And in this situation here, there's nothing else you can really do besides keep that sidearm up in the air, Nate.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
I know. Don't mess with those stakes. I already made that mistake once and got burned for it. This time, luckily, skips through. And I'm safe in the landing area. Philo going with a short shot here, just putting in play. And Jerem gets it up a little higher, more like I wanted to. Cleanly over the top. Perfect. Philo up to the green with his mid-range. Perfect shot.
He's just outside the bullseye. That was a great recovery shot. I mean, I don't want to call it a recovery shot,
Yeah,
but
just a great shot.
Yeah, just a great shot in general. I mean, he was a little bit further away than the rest of us, but not by much. And Ricky's forehand play is
Also just outside bullseye range. I'm going Firebird again. And this is just a bit short.
Yeah, not really much action on the ground either. It's certainly more distance than you'd like to have on this green.
Yes.
Stupid ball. I wanted my bullseye. Come on, man. Golly.
He deserves that much. Here I am from about 25, 28 feet.
And this is a nerve testing putt here, and there's just... You're not showing any nerves yet, Nate.
I'm trying not to.
You got the lead at the USDGC. This is the last round. We've kind of seen you blow these leads in the past.
I've done it before. I was thinking today, at this point, I was just thinking, you've worked hard to get yourself here. You just got to play your plan. You just got to make birdies. Mm-hmm. You just got to not explode on these stroke and distance holes.
Yeah.
Like, if you make birdies, what's anybody going to do?
All right. Well, and you've made another birdie with a great putt there, and 3 basic tap-ins here, and had a star frame on hole 9 to finish the front 9 out. Going into the back 9, you have a seemingly safe lead. I believe you have 5 throws? 6 throws.
6 throws, but I will say I did not feel safe at this point at all. No lead is safe here at Winthrop Gold.
Not when there's a hole 17 coming up.
Yeah. Here are our inside the circle stats. Germ again, not on fire.
Not as bad as 40% the day before.
True. But yeah, I'm holding it together at 100%. Happy to do it. Thank you guys for tuning in and joining us for this final round coverage. It's been a roller coaster so far. Let's see what the back nine brings.
Yeah, it's going to bring a lot of. It's going to be intense. I mean, there's going to be a lot of really difficult holes and a lot of situations where we have to make some really important decisions.